going to go on the field here. Is this loss a huge blow for the Bucs moving forward to run it back? Because we know they already have injuries.
I think it absolutely is. I think this is ginormous for this team, especially when you don't have Chris Godwin. I believe the reason you felt okay without Chris Godwin being available is because Antonio Brown can play inside. He can play out. He can fill many of those holes that Chris Godwin leaves with his injury. Now, without Antonio Brown, you don't have the wide receivers that you were expecting to have with this team. Antonio Brown had gone from a luxury to a necessity, and that was before the Chris Godwin injury. When you look at this team and when they were playing their best offensively, it was when they had Rob Gronkowski. They also had Antonio Brown. And so now to take him out of the fold, you have to depend on guys like Brashard Perriman. You have to depend on guys like Cyril Grayson Jr. And that's not Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin level type of players or type of talents. And so if you're Tom Brady, you're now going to have to figure out who are your go-to guys going to be in the playoffs. Is Mike Evans healthy enough to be that guy? Can you now lean on Rob Gronkowski on the inside and in between the numbers to make the plays that you need him to make, to be big in the red zone, to be big on third downs? And so I think they're going to have to reinvent themselves a little bit offensively here to help out Tom Brady and also to help Byron Leftwich. But it's going to be about the defense as well. We have continued to leave that part of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' success last year out of the equation. This defense stepped up and became not only a defense that took the football away, but they could pressure the passer. They were impossible to run against, and they were a team that created splash plays defensively. All of those things are going to have to happen if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers want to repeat. And even then, they aren't my favorite, and there's probably at least one or two teams I take before them.
Can the Buccaneers repeat without Antonio Brown? Yes. But Antonio Brown not being there is devastating.
Yeah.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Saturday were a giant question mark because of the injuries that RC just detailed. Offensively, when's Fournette come back? How's he going to be? Mike Evans hamstring, Levante David. So they're a giant question mark before this situation. The loss of AB is absolutely devastating. But your job is not to point out the problem. Your job is to point out how to solve the problem if you're Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians. Why do I think they can win the Super Bowl still without him? Number one, this offense was built around their offensive line. That offensive line is still there. I said 5 weeks ago it's the unit in the NFC that I trust the absolute most. I still do. And then it was built around Hall of Fame quarterback and those three wide receivers. Two of those three wide receivers are gone, Godwin and AB. They still have those three tight ends. And I think why I believe in this team still is because I think the offensive coordinator, Byron Leftwich, is smart enough to realize I still have the offensive line and the quarterback. I just need to build the offense around the tight ends now and not the wide receivers. Rob Gronkowski, Cameron Brate, O.J. Howard. I've watched the Colts do this. I've watched the Raiders do this. I've watched the Ravens 2 years ago build their offense around these three tight ends and have a ton of success. And RC, you know this. It can still allow efficiency on offense, explosive on offense, and the ability to control the football game. So while this is an enormous loss, there's still pieces there that can give them the ability to go on the run. It's harder. They got to do it on the road. They got to go to Lambeau and get done. I still think they can get it done. And I'll say this, maybe it's a hot take today, but I don't think Cyril Grayson as the number 3 for this football team is that giant of a drop-off. I know no one knows his name, and I didn't do it a ton, but I watched yesterday's game, and I know it's against the Jets, but the guy was in the right place at the right time and didn't fool the quarterback and made plays.
Listen, he made plays, but he's not. Listen, he's an LSU guy.
He ain't AB.
He's an LSU guy. Like I told you, he just got good by osmosis. That's what happens. He never stepped on the Death Valley field to play football, but just because he ran track there and he was around all the greatness that is LSU football, he could just make plays.
I needed to fly there, land, and I never did.
Hey man, just take a dip in the water, bro. It just takes one dip.
One dip.
You become
amazing.
Like
the Jordan River.
But when you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think what you said is important, right? Reinvent yourself, become a team that uses the tight ends, and you can still win and be explosive that way.
You can even be harder to challenge.
The thing about that is, it's such a far departure from who Bruce Arians is, and then subsequently who he's made Byron Leftwich be, who he's taught him to be, right? This is a team that wants to push the ball down the football field outside the numbers. This is a team that loves chunk plays. And so they're going to have to be a little different in the way they go about getting them down the stretch, because you're going to have them to beat a team like the Green Bay Packers. You're going to have huge plays to beat a team like the Los Angeles Rams, even the Arizona Cardinals to some extent, even the Dallas Cowboys. And so I think what Tampa Bay has to figure out, and they have to figure it out soon, is who is going to be the go-to guys and where does Tom Brady find his comfort? Because I felt like Antonio Brown gave him a little bit of that as well.
There's two things that are coming to mind. Last week we asked the question, or the week before, I don't remember, with the holidays, with Chris Godwin. Can they still win without Chris Godwin?
We said.
And yes, because Antonio Brown's coming back, and it was perfect timing. So that's stuck in the back of my mind where I'm kind of not so sold. And then the other piece is everybody had kind of said, we know he's Tom Brady, but the reason he's still able to perform at this level is because he has all those weapons. Right. But he's not that same guy. So now he doesn't have all those weapons.
I think Tom Brady's able to do it because of the offensive line. I think if I'm playing wide receiver with that offensive line, Tom's going to find a way to get me the football. So that's why I still, I get it where everyone the initial is like, there's no way. If they didn't have a Cam Brayton and O.J. Howard at tight end, I would agree with you. But I think because of the uniqueness of how difficult of a matchup that can be. Now, again, they weren't playing those guys in that package because they had those receivers.
Right.
Yeah.
Now 100%. It's a necessity, And so when I'm looking at the playoffs and going, if you put those 3 tight ends on the field, I'm just telling everybody, that is a very difficult matchup. You know it. So the Packers, that would be a difficult matchup for the Packers. The Rams, that would be a difficult. I still believe that if Gronk is healthy and Fournette comes back healthy, this offense is good enough to go to the Super Bowl. There are giant question marks on the health of those people and the health of the defense. That is fair, but I can't sit here and make an assumption on that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.